And so we are live again. We're live and it is Tuesday morning here in the studio at Warrington, the same place we've been meeting for the most of the part of the lockdown for our lives. Today we're going to continue the series. The series is the alphabet series to distinguish it from the days 1 to 20 series that you're all incredibly impressively working with. Today is A plus C, which is your abdominal trunk stability, good morning Donna, with your back. The exercises yesterday were A, it'll always be an A, start of the alphabet. A is trunk stability with legs yesterday. Today it's A plus B, which is your back, and it's going to be back stabilisation and mobilisation. Ideally, strength and mobility. Hello Menna, and hello Susan and Sarah Butler. And Margaret, we're all ready for this, aren't we? It's like the grand countdown, isn't it? The kind of get out of jail free. We're romping around that Monopoly board, ticking all the boxes. It goes without saying today that you only continue every single exercise I prescribe if it's pain-free. The back should be working in some of the activities, but always the upper back. If the lower back's active to some degree, it's kind of fine, but actually, the way I'm doing this workout, it shouldn't really go for your lower back. I'm more interested that you stabilise here. So you people that are massively lordotic, good morning Ken and Tom, stabilise here to make sure that even though we're working through your back mobility and stability, the upper back should be active and the trunk here active. Your workout will start, obviously trunk work is always going to involve abs, so have a head pad ready for yourselves. We will be starting lying on our backs and then romping our way through the abdominal switch on, the breath switch on, which will then set us up really well for our back work. The back work, I'll repeat again for those wandering into the room. If your back feels bad or wrong or painful or twingy in any positions I give you, breathe it out. Stay in the shape that is comfortable and do your breathing muscle work, which would take you more efficiently to your back. I'm going to get going. So we're going to start lying on our backs. Obviously to lie down, the usual rules apply. Get everything level. Once everything's level from your heels to your hips, you can take yourself into the lying down shape. Pop your head pad, wriggle around and get that position so that it's accurate for you. No twisting, no misalignment, and then find your breathing muscles. Get rid of anything that it feels uncomfortable behind you, so sort out your clothing. We'll start by reaching our arms by our sides. Your head is on the head cushion and the neck is free of the head cushion. You're inhaling as deep as you can and exhaling and creating that imprint connection to the ground, which means your pelvis is tilted using the pelvic floor, the navel spine. I'm going to give you a few moments, keeping your arms reaching, breathing in and out, maintaining the imprint. Remember, imprint will always feel comfortable if it's relevant for you, and if it's uncomfortable, the chances are you've overly tilted. People, our next breath out then will be to curl up. Exhaling then, you'll nod and curl. Look for both knees being level. Breathe in and back down. Pelvic floor. Up you go, chin nod, arms reaching, shoulder blades pulling away from the ground as you roll up and pulling wide at the collarbone as you roll up and down. So that's the upper back stabilisation alignment. Exhale, curl, and breathing in, take yourself back down. Curl up and stay, and put your hands behind your thighs. We're going to do the heel slide. So breathe out and slide your leg to straight. Breathe in and pull it back again. Exhale, slide your other leg to straight. Inhale and back. Now if taking your leg straight is too intense, in other words, it pulls you out of your imprint, then just allow the leg to go a little way out and pull it back. Exhaling, navel to spine, the leg goes away and returns back in. You're using a strong arm connection to keep the upper spine curled with shoulders away from the floor. Away we go and back in. Exhaling, I'm in imprint. No twisting happening at the pelvis. Breathing muscles completely working for me. You've got one more each side. Breath out, heel slide or leg reach. Inhale back, Exhale, heel reach and return, and inhaling back down. Exhale, core connect, pelvic tilt, and stay in your tilt again, in your imprint. Keep your hands reaching, big breath in. Exhale, curl up, big breath in. Pull the thighs together and float your legs to tabletop. Toes above knees. Breathe out then and stretch those legs away. Now inhale, bend the knees, and as they come back to 90-degree hip, roll down. Exhaling. Each time you push your legs away and then come back in, you can go lower incrementally. Breath out. Remember, you hold as your legs are tight, tight, tight. Inhaling back. The sense of symmetry is all you're consumed with. Symmetry behind you in the lumbar area and symmetry of where the legs go and return from. Exhaling. Away you go. Obviously, the lower the legs roll away from you, the more demand on the pelvic kind of hip bone to hip bone area. We call it the bikini area. Gentlemen, just imagine. Speedo trunks. Inner thighs tight together. Got one last one. And pulling back in. Keep your legs in tabletop, and then breath out, push them straight but keep your head down. Breath in, bend them again. The breath out, now you're working harder on the rib cage part of the abs, the shrink of the hollowing abdominal connection, the pulling down away from the clothing, the feeling that the back is completely supported by your abdominals is what this is all about. If you can't quite straighten your legs because your hamstrings are shorter than, then don't straighten them, keep them slightly bent. Keeping your inner thighs tight together will give you what you really need in this working out. You've got two more like this. Last one. Now, I'm going to ask you to bend your legs and place your feet to the floor, keep the legs tight together. Pop the head cushion away from under the skull and use it as a knee squeezer. We need to wake up the spine, so breath in, it's a mobilizing spine hip roll. Breathing out, squeeze the cushion and roll your hips up. Inhale, float your arms back to release the shoulders, the collarbones. Exhaling, squeeze the cushion 4 times. So the breath is lengthened. And on the 4th squeeze, breathe in, float your arms to the ceiling, leave them there as you roll the rib cage, middle back to lower back down to the floor, and inhale, down you go. Exhaling, pelvic curl, pelvic floor, squeeze that pad and roll the spine up in sequence. Inhaling, float your arms backwards. It's the start of adding the upper back. Exhale and squeeze. So spine has to be mobile and has to be strong. Hip rolls are our spinal mobilization. As you pull on that pad, you're helping the pelvic stability, which is part of your trunk stability, activate whilst your spine enjoys leg release. Inhale, float your arms up and pull the spine down. And exhaling, you're ready now for the next activity. Place the pad back under your head. With the pad under your head, exhale and curl up in the direction of your thighs. Inhaling, pulling the legs tight together, place your hands behind your head. You're going to stretch one leg out and leave it. Exhale, roll. Inhale, center. Exhale, roll. And center. It's a twist, a turn, where you're looking for your bent side thigh. You're not looking across the other side of the room. Exhale, so you never quite go down. The lower the leg that straightens goes, the more demand you keep of the imprint, in other words, the lower abs, so you medicate, modify accordingly. We're going to play with this. Just do once more each side. Inhaling back. Exhale. So that's the slow version. Now you're going to go fast, fast, fast. Then go slow, slow. Breathing and quick, quick, quick. and then slow and slow. Now the rules here are don't roll your hips. So if all you can do is slow and slow, then all you do is slow, 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 not quick, quick, quick. So we go slowly and slowly, and then sniff, sniff, sniff. Exhale, slow. Breathe in, exchange, slow. Sniff, 2, 3. And slow, slow, swift, 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 and pull your knees into your chest. Well done. Reach your legs up, put your hands on the floor, and get a strong sense of the back of your pelvis. With the hands reaching, hold your abdominal core in. So the abdominals are pulling down and in. There's no movement now. You're just centering and feeling for a, it's not a forced imprint, people, it's a connection of imprint. Go to turn out. The crisscross is this. Yesterday, sometime last week actually, from I did the crisscross. The thigh bones cross or lead that kind of ballet style turn out move. Keep the crisscross going. You'd go crisscross 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to let your legs open into abduction. And then you come back with a 3, 2, 1, and then the legs open. Ideally, you're pointed and asking your arches to activate. Exhaling, 2, 3. Inhale, stretch the legs open. Breath out, draw the inner thighs tight together. Remember, crisscross of legs doesn't lead from the toes, it leads from the inner thighs. And as you take your legs open, it's the inner thighs you're looking to expand, lengthen. The legs continue their reach as you open. And we go 3, 2, 1, and big open. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhaling, squeeze the thighs and crisscross. And then inhale, expand through the adductors. Breath out, criss, criss, cross, and expand. Last 2, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And stay with your legs open. You've got your first active hip stretch. Go and push the legs with loads of energy. Keep the imprint of the spine. Breathe deeply in and out. You're deliberately pushing down through the inner thighs, creating your own active stretch, and then pull those knees into the chest. From that position then, we're ready to do our back work. Roll yourself up and bring yourself over to hands and knees. To use the lines on the mat is really what you need. Position yourself so that your chest is forwards to the end of the mat, your fingers are spread, and your knees are together. To truly work with your upper back, you have to get some mobility through the spine. So we're going to use the cat-cow stretch mobilizer very deliberately as an exercise. Breathe deeply in. When the breathing out happens, start to pelvic connect and tilt. Then follow the journey through the spine till you find yourself in the cat position. If when you're there you see you're not quite level, knees to hands, then change it. Now breathe deeply into this round spine. To come out of here then, your tailbone goes to ceiling with the next breath out, and your aim is to create a smooth movement as you ripple through the spine, articulating in sequence into the extension position. Now, this is the first extension position of the day. If in this position it's all in your lower back, you let go of your abdominals. I'm going to keep us here. Exhale and see what happens as you hollow your abs in this extended spine shape. In other words, your spine has the best space here, so long as you ab hollow. We're going to move out of it into the cat stretch again. So on the breath out, try and take it from the tailbone, following the breath out with the pelvic floor, the navel spine. There's nothing happening in your bottom.
You're pushing the ground away through your shins and your hands. You're in your rounded back position. Your big breath into here through the back of you. And exhaling again. Tailbone starts to lead the journey. Shoulders stay away from the neck. As you pay attention and discipline to moving your back, not where it tends to move from, but the places where it tries to avoid. You breathe in just here, crown of the head to the ceiling. And then breathing out. Pelvic floor rolls you, rolls you, rolls you, rolls you. And you're in a good cat stretch. In other words, your spine is rounded, your shoulders away from the neck. You're pushing through your feet, knees and hands. And then finally, again, through to the extension, moving with the breathing out time, leading from the tailbone, widening the collarbones when you find that, and then using this moment to definitely core connect. It's such a fab feeling. If you can definitely use pelvic floor, the obliques are long, the rectus abdominis is long, it's getting an active stretch. People, on the next breath out then, shrink the tummy, and as you go to a straight or flat or neutral, stay where you are. You're now going to lean backwards without doing too much of a round and pull forwards. Exhaling, push the ground away with your hands till they go light. I'm not allowing my back to do too much. It's like a gentle imprint of my lumbar area. Okay, I'm pulling back. Whichever way you're doing this, breathing out to push backwards. You're stabilizing the spine and moving, hinging at the hip and opening at the shoulder. We have one last one. Stay here. I've now got my bottom to my heels. Let the head look down at the knees and then tuck your bottom under using pelvic floor navel to spine and bring yourself up to your kneeling position. Once you're kneeling, I'll change my view for you. Have it so that your arms are by your sides. Everything should be level because it wasn't a few moments ago. And take your hands to your shoulders. So I'm just fingertips to shoulders. My elbows are pulling down. We're going to add our first rotation. First of all, core connect, pelvic floor transverse wall. Back of the hamstring should also be active. There's nothing relaxed. But you start turning your head as you breathe out. And then follow through with the shoulders. Breathe in and return back to center. Exhaling, start to turn the eye gaze. Your shoulder blades help the feel of coming sideways rotation. And again. The bigger the breathing now, the better the space you'll create in the spine. The breath in will lengthen the spine. And the breath out will use the space you created. So the movement comes through the shoulder blade areas, the upper back, only feeling some kind of activation. Last time to your other side. And center. Allow your arms to go to your sides, but then place your left hand behind your head. Breathe in. Now it's time for you to pull down sideways without twisting on the breath out. This is the waist shortening. You stay, breathe in. Keep your armpit open on the open side here, and exhaling, come back with two more just here. Exhale, pelvic floor now to spine. Reach down, side bending, so the side spine, facet joints, everything creating space, and the bend only happening rib cage to neck. Last time, use your glutes, use your pelvic floor, navel to spine, to trunk stabilize as you mobilize the spine. We're going to change sides. Here we go. Square with the direction you're facing. Start by pushing down through the side armpit and allowing the elbow to point to the ceiling. Do not displace the hips. Breathe in and return. Keep the chin nod. Exhaling. Down you go, side bending, and inhaling, back up you come. Middle finger, exhale. And inhaling, returning back. That's you woken and warmed up through that part of the posture. You're going to go back to hands and knees, again using the space that you're on to notice your alignment sides. First position then, take your hand and arm backwards and create a bent elbow to ceiling. My elbow points to the ceiling, my fist, my knuckle points to the side hip area. My all fours position is true. It's now a 3-point position. Breathing out, pull your elbow up and down, getting more sense of where your shoulder actually is. So the shoulder lifts, which allows the elbow to lift and helps you tune into shoulder stabilization with the tricep, which is the back of the upper arm, activation. Now stay, you're ready to move now. Exhale and push your fist to the ceiling, straightening your arm. Inhale, you bring your fist back to your hip. I think you get the idea. Breath out, push. Breath in and back. Your knuckle is facing the thigh, the hip, as you push back and up. If you've managed to keep your elbow really back and you're keeping your all fours shape, you're working trunk stabilization with upper back across the back of the shoulder into the back of the upper arm. And this activity will appear when we lie on our front as well. Do me 3 more of the arm going straight and bend. Exhale, push. And 2 more. Trunk stabilization. And stay now with your arms straight. Keep your shoulders pulling away from the ground. You're going to add that little bit of a pulse here then. We did it with a bent elbow. We're now doing it. It should go across the upper back, not into your neck. If you keep your head forwards of your line, your end mat. For 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. Feel those triceps and return that arm down. Ready for your other side. Shoulders, collarbones. Now bend your elbow, create a fist of your hand. You're in hands and knees. First sequence then is pull the elbow back and the shoulder back to the sky. Keep the trunk stability, breathing. Keep this elbow pulling back. If it's all in the right place, it'll land in your upper back and the back of your upper arm. Are you ready then? We're going to now extend the elbow and return. So extend your arm, straightening your elbow and bending. Straighten. Breathe out. Core connect and then straighten your arm. Keep your shoulders pulling away from your neck. By far the hardest thing in this position is keeping all fours, connection through the trunk, and then concentrating on the limb, which is now your other arm, loaded through the back of the arm, through the back of the shoulder, and feeling hard work. 2 more. Now keep that arm straight and pulse it up. Your arm is as far back as your shoulder can go, and your arm then has the range. Some of you will not be as high as mine is. You do need to keep your fist. If my palm was open, it'd be facing into the main line of the body. 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, breathing, 1 more. Return the arm down and take yourself into a stretch. Bend your elbows and allow anything that got inappropriately activated in your back to disappear. Head hanging, you're breathing, and the sense of workload is disappearing. Take yourself then onto your tummy, your front, and once lying down frontal, keep breathing, stretch out the legs, and your leg foot position, heavy, legs active. So when I talk about heavy legs, it's more that they're really connected. The front of the thigh feels lengthened and activated. The feet are pulling towards the ground, but the legs are long. And your hands want to behind your shoulders. Get breathing with your head square to the floor. Breathe deeply in and out and listen to my cues. First cue is pubic bone is dominant, abdominals are switched on, and that will remain throughout the whole of this sequence. Keep breathing and keep that trunk, that abdomen, that belly not pushing into the mat. The next breath in, allow the head to float up, pulling the shoulders away from the neck, and breathe out and come back down. As you allow your head to raise up, the upper spine only starts to activate. When I talk about upper spine, I mean neck and kind of just between the shoulder blades. The ribs are not leaving the floor, and your belly, abdomen is not being tempted to push into the mat. Inhale, push that nose forwards. Legs are strong. You're doing much more than moving only through the upper spine. The next time you find yourself looking across the floor, stay. So staying there, activate the legs, breathe.
Now breathing out, can you float one arm off the floor without twisting? And inhale, lower it down. Keep that going. The arm comes up, the arm goes down. There is no shift. When you move your arm, there is no activation of the lumbar spine because you're using stability of the upper back and of the abdominal area to support the lower back. And the legs, when they reach and lengthen to the floor, feet heavy, they're quite active in the posterior hamstring area. 2 more. Last time. Keep the hands down now and rest the floor. Know the difference between a bit of back extension along with load. We're going to take our hands now by our sides. Get breathing deeply in and out. Turn the palms so that the thumbs are on the floor, either side of your mat if you're level. Your legs stay active, legs are reaching, legs are drawing towards each other. As your breath out happens, pull your shoulder blades together and touch the sides of the thigh with the palm of the hand. Breathe in and lower it down. Let's go. Upper back. When the hands pull towards each other, the shoulder blades, the shoulders pull first. Shoulder blades, hands. Inhale. Shoulder blades, hands. Breathe in. Shoulder blades and hands. 2 more. Shoulder blades and hands. 1 more. Shoulder blades and hands. And then put your hands under your chest and pull yourself into a stretch because we need to go back and do more of that. What you got in the previous activity was upper back, mid-rhomboid trapezius area, working at the same time, hopefully, as the front of you stabilising the position from pelvis to mid-ribs. Before we go into lying on your front again, I'm going to quickly take you into thread the needle to get a little bit more mobilisation through the upper back. So on the next breath out, you're in all fours neutral. Take your hand and thread under till your shoulder goes down to the floor without twisting the hips. Inhale, return it. Exhaling, take the arm and inhale, return. Breathe out. The movement stays incredibly parallel through the spine. In other words, symmetry. It's the shoulder that does the rotation through the spine. And remember, the breathing out allows the fanning out of the facet joints. That bony process is coming out of your vertebral column. Just think good back. Okay, you want every part of the spine to move in the back of the rib cage to the neck. Last time to either side. And you're ready for your front again. Lying back onto your front, stretching the legs out to keep them long and connected. Feel for the end of the mat. And put your hands back to that kind of W position. Get the rules, remember. Pubic bone imprint, shrink the tummy in. Collarbones and shoulders really wide. Feet are heavy, legs are very, very activated. You're now going to exhale. Float your hand off the floor, one arm. Turn and look at it and then swim it backwards and then watch it come back into place, then look centre. Exhale, shrink the tongue, turn the head, other side and swim your arm back and pull it back to centre. And reach. And remember, the movement of any arm starts in the shoulder, so as you turn, and also the turn is shoulders and neck is spine. The leg activation and the abdominal activation will forbid that your legs get involved with any movement that's meant to stay in the upper back and the shoulders. You've got 2 more. Start the turn, pull on the shoulder, find the breath, last time each side. And let that go. Reach your arms as far away as you can take them.
And allow your nose to push the floor and make your body the longest it's been since lockdown. You're breathing deeply in and out. If you take your shoulder blades and draw them back now, make your legs strong and long, and then pull your hands a little bit closer. I'd say have a bent elbow. Keep the hands definitely wider than your shoulder. Big breath in. Exhale, core connect. Pull your thighs tight together. And as you squeeze your thighs tight together, push the ground away. So you're now in upper back extension, not lower back. By pulling the thighs tight together, you're stabilising, and back down you go, your elbows are bent. If you feel you could come up a bit higher, slide your hands a bit closer to you, keep your elbows bent. Inhale, start to push, exhale, squeeze the thighs, open your collarbones. The abdominals are strong and long, your collarbones are open, your legs are really active, your lower back feels nothing, and bending the elbows and down you go. Stay where you are with your hands, but if you want more, pull them closer to you, still about shoulder height. Inhaling, head, neck, shoulders, sternum. Exhaling, collarbones, inner thighs, and push the ground away. Crown of the head to the ceiling, shoulder blades draw towards each other. Legs are so active, the pubic bone's almost off the floor on this one. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Bend your elbows, keep looking straight ahead until you can come back down. And if you've got still more range in your spine, exhaling, connect. Inhale, head, neck, shoulders. Exhale and extend. Shoulder blades, collarbones. And breathe, 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 breathe. Exhaling. Look until you can see no more. And you're done with that. Place your hands under your shoulders. Let your legs bend. And find yourself back into a shell stretch. We're going to finish off, well, two moves really. Tricep dips, followed by your bridge again. Find your position on the mat. Your legs want to stay, tabletop positioning, legs together, everything symmetrical. Let your elbows bend, pull yourself forward, and push yourself away. Your upper back, because you've worked at stabilising, will now more happily get involved in the move. If that for some reason is horrible on your shoulder, take your elbows wide and do more of a chest press. So in other words, you're opening the chest to pull the ground to you. You're pulling your elbows wide open, all the while trunk stabilising. Down we go. So yes, your arms are involved, but it's a crucial connection with the upper back. We'll do one more. This will set you good for your arm move when we add it, and let that go. Quickly people, we're going to finish with bridge. You deserve it. We'll do the bridge positioning. Take the head pad and make it a thigh squeeze and align your trunk. Get the heels to come under your knees and reach your fingers in the direction of your feet. Thigh bones should be level. We did this at the start and it'll be interesting. You should feel a little bit more mobile. Now it's the end. Breathe deeply in. Breathing deeply out, start to squeeze on the pad, shrink the tummy in, imprint, and then pick up the spine one vertebra at a time. Squeeze on the pad, breathe in, and allow your arms to go back. We're going to stay here, breathe. Inhale, squeeze and drop a bit, exhale, lift. Inhaling, the hips slightly flex, and you get the chance to pelvic floor. Pull on that pad. If the arms behind you is too horrible, take your arms sideways, because there's more to be gained by being free than by being forced. And last time with that pad squeeze, leave your arms wherever they were and see if you can roll your spinal column down more fluently and return your hands back. We'll do that again. Big breath in. Breathing out, your heels press down, your pad squeezes. Your pelvic floor is the origin of all of that connection. As you float up and you reach your arms back, breathe. Now exhaling, roll the ribs down halfway, inhale and come back up. Exhaling, lowering down through the pelvis. Inhaling back up. If you're pulling on the pad and using your pelvic floor, you will be doing this in a nurturing way for the spine, not in a nasty way. If it's too intense, put your arms by your sides or out in T-shape, remember. It's more for the spine. If you can add your shoulder opening and stability, then that's wonderful. But the spinal connection, the hamstrings and glutes have to feel that they're part of and valued as the priority, okay? So your priority just now, however you are in the upper body, is that your trunk stability helps you articulate your spine and activate hamstring and the thigh to keep that pelvic trunk stabilization. Your spine will only move freely when the right muscles are invited to do the job they were designed to do. 2 more. Last time. And take your hands here, pull your knees into your chest, exhale and roll up. Okay, I do believe that we have just worked you happily through trunk stabilization and back work. The idea of this sequence of A, B, C, D and E is that you will do a bit of an a la carte. Always have A, but then choose whether you do B, C or just C. But play with A+, A+, A+. And hopefully by Friday, we'll be feeling great. And as someone said, we'll probably be in A and E. So take care, everybody. We really are on countdown for opening. And for that, I'm very delighted. Many of you are requesting what you need. And it can only be good to be back in this place. I'll say goodbye. I've got everything reversed, so I can switch it off in a useful way, she says. Okay, take care, people. Enjoy your day. And I'll see you another day.